Rob Zombie's Halloween, my favorite Halloween movie. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I sounded like Dracula. How is everybody doing? You guys ready to watch Rob Zombie's Halloween? Yeah. Another spur of the moment thing. I didn't realize that today is the anniversary. Is it right? August 31st is the anniversary of Rob Zombie's Halloween. I think last week was the anniversary of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And I just felt the need to talk about it. Let's watch the movie together, right? Let me say hello. Let me say hello to you guys. All right. Let's see. Nuclear Fusion, Vinny, Mega Cat, Casey C, Ashton Luck, Vengeance, Stream Elements, Bot, DeJesus, Custom Footwear, Mayan, Dave Vanderhoff. Sorry you can't join, brother. You know, it's these last minute things, right? Mike Webb, how are you doing? Basti, L. Kells, not JPEG, Deadhead, time for a nice cold one. I got a Gatorade and a root beer. Man, I've been in a root beer mood lately. Yeah. Ryan Swayze, what's up, man? How are you doing? Mike Cinema, David Thorson, Polly. Yeah. How many of you guys? Troy, what's up, brother? Chris Snyder in the house. Sean Sheridan. KCC, how many of you guys are watching this with me? Rosalia. Man, so many of you guys jumping in here. Love it. I love this movie more than the DGG trilogy. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it all. All right. How many pumpkins is that, Vinny? It's a lot of pumpkins. Yeah. Vanessa on it right now. All right, cool. I'm hoping a lot of you guys are going to watch this. By the way, we're doing the theatrical cut. There it is right there. Right, guys? Theatrical cut. If I go over to my B cam, I have a little bit of the... Let me take that off. B cam, is that going to show up? Yeah, look at that. There it is, guys. B cam, ready to go. Okay? Yeah. So every now and then, maybe I'll pop over the B cam and let you guys see where we're at. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to hit play? I can't even remember if I did a Rob Zombie's. Vengeance is watching. Hell yeah. I can't even remember if I did a Rob Zombie's Halloween commentary. But if I did, we're doing it again. Okay, we're doing it again. This is for them. That's not in this movie. And that's a good thing. All right. Weinstein delivered. Yeah. Here we go. There's some good stuff about this movie, okay? As tan as I am, yeah, man, I'm tan and shiny right now, okay? Tan and shiny. Let me see if I can, hold on, let me boost my light a little bit. Is that better? Is that a little better? You get one side of me lighter than the other, guys, okay? How about that? All right, cool. Is anybody wearing their Myers shirt? I got my Myers shirt on. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to do it. We're going to count it down. Theatrical cut. We're going to go a 10, a 9er, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Evil has a destiny. Boom. Is that the tagline for this? Evil has a destiny? Is that right? Dimension logo. Man, I love that Dimension logo. Guys, what's your favorite movie logo? Okay, could it be 20th Century Fox? Could it be New Line Cinema? Could it be Miramax? I think mine might be the Dimension logo. The darkest souls are not those which choose to exist within the hell of the abyss, but those which choose to break free from the abyss and move silently among us. What the fuck does that mean? Now, Haddonfield, Illinois, October 31st, right? Boom, there we go, October 31st. Sorry about the ring light, guys, but just to show you guys where we're at, okay? I like that clown mask. I know they got that off of eBay, and then they like had their makeup guy, effects guy. Was it Toth? What was his first name? He made, I think, like 3 or 4 more of those masks, which is quite amazing if you ask me, to be able to just come up with something just like that, you know, to be able to make a copy of something, right? Canon logo's cool. Yeah, Canon logo's really cool. What? Bitch, I will crawl up there and sculpt right away, guys, right away. Wayne Toth, thank you very much, David. I do love this actor that plays Ronnie. If we weren't watching the movie and I wasn't on the spot, I'd be able to tell you his name, you know. But because we're watching the movie, I can't tell you his name, all right? But I'm sure one of you guys will tell me his name, okay? The stepdad was asking for it, for sure. I almost wish his death would have been like even more gruesome, but it was pretty gruesome, okay? Paramount is pretty great. That's true. Blood splatter chatter. William Forsythe, thank you, Chris. I knew you wouldn't let me down. There's little Jenny from Forrest Gump playing Judith Myers. And you know, this is definitely a rough. By the way, guys, it seems like every Halloween movie has to start with breakfast. Am I right? Like, how many of them start with breakfast? Quite a few of them. Not all of them, but quite a few of them start with breakfast, right? What's your favorite opening breakfast scene out of all the... I mean, you got Halloween 2018. You got this movie. This movie actually has 2 breakfasts. It might be the only Halloween movie with 2 breakfasts, all right? It's second breakfast. This movie literally has second breakfast. But this is a more stressful breakfast. It starts off with the stressful breakfast, and then it goes over to the more middle-class suburban breakfast. Which, by the way, let's talk about tax brackets, okay? Because they live in Pasadena, although this is Haddonfield, but it looks like they live in a pretty nice neighborhood in Pasadena. So why is their house like a complete... Is it a mess though? Let's really study this house. Is it? Because I've seen some really nasty looking houses and apartments. You know, I work at an apartment complex. And one thing I notice is you see, it doesn't matter which like apartment complex people live in. There are people that are complete neat freaks and their house looks spotless and beautiful. And then there's the complete opposite end of the spectrum where you have a full-blown hoarder and you walk in and the first thing you see is like a beer can and a half a slice of bread on the floor. And it's got, there's something sticky too. You always like, you either step in or you touch something really sticky. We have that where I work, you know? I hate you. Okay, we're through the first scene, the breakfast, okay? So I want you guys to get involved. Tell me right now, how do you feel about the opening breakfast scene? Like, did you like it? Did you think it was a little bit too much? Did the white trash stuff drive you crazy? Or did you like that it was different, you know? Did it set the tone? And really, this is the first scene in the movie. It does set the tone for the whole thing. So for me, it was a rough start, okay? But I want to know right now, let me know in the chat, yay or nay on that opening scene, okay? Did you like it, or did you think, this is not my Halloween? What did you think? Okay, Andre says he thinks it's awesome. It definitely sets the stage for the rest of the movie. Chris, you're not wrong. I don't like nothing about this movie. So, CJM, I will just assume for the rest of this, because I'm going to be quizzing you guys throughout this thing, how you felt about certain scenes. Yeah, Troy says he didn't mind it, okay? So, it's Rob Zombie who wasn't ready, Mega Cat. I'm not a fan of the first act. Okay, Ashton? Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely jarring, as Casey would say, but either you're in or out at that point. You are completely true. Now, we are in the high school scene, which I actually like this scene. I have a thing for high school scenes in any kind of movie. I don't know what it is. Are you guys like that? Do you love seeing high schools in movies? Like, to me, that's a leg up. You know, if you can do that, if you can give me a good high school scene, that's a leg up. Okay, I like it. Is it Richard Lynch? He passed away. The principal. Man, there's a lot to discuss about this movie. Devin Collins, thank you so much. He says, yeah, it was a bit way too vulgar. I mean, I got parents that curse quite a bit, but they don't say shit like that, especially at breakfast. Yeah. Plus, I don't know about you guys, but I wake up in a good mood. Are you guys the type that wake up in a really shitty mood, or do you wake up in a good mood? Because to me, it's like it's a brand new day. The possibilities are there. I'm going to take on the day. Maybe I'll make a difference. I don't know. And sometimes, especially if I get up and I go for a run, I love getting up and exercising, going for a run. It really just sets the tone. So in this movie, everybody woke up in a really pissed off mood. Okay. And usually if like one person wakes up in a pissed off mood, it kind of spreads throughout the rest of the family. And I'm wagering that Ronnie, like if Ronnie was a better stepdad and he would have woke up in a better mood, then maybe this movie, we wouldn't have this movie. Maybe Michael would have been just a normal kid. But maybe Ronnie's what turned Michael into a killer, right? Okay, guys, I need more of your opinion. Sherry Moon Zombie as Deborah Myers, right? What did you guys think? Did you like Sherry Moon Zombie as Deborah Myers? And there you go. You can see it right now. I think this is the only time where we actually hear the original Halloween theme. Am I right, guys? Yeah. Now, Chris says she's actually great in this movie. I agree. This might be, don't quote me on this, but it might be one of my favorite Sherry Moon Zombie performances. I think she does give it her all in this. I think she must have been excited. We're doing a fucking Halloween movie, okay? That's got to be pretty exciting. So, Polly says I'm reaching. If I'm reaching, I'm doing this, Polly, okay? Okay, guys, we're coming up on a very important scene. He just spit in his winter cap. That's pretty messed up. Guys, okay, I need your opinion. What did you think about the bullies in the bathroom? The way that did you feel like, okay, I can't wait for Myers to completely kill this guy. I don't care how old you are. This kid was freaking horrible. And probably the most disgusting, foul-mouthed kid I've ever seen in a school. But it's believable. I do think kids they can be that vulgar in school, for sure. So what did you guys think about that kid, though? The Spy Kids kid. He was very effective. He was very effective. Yeah. Mega Cat says he's got that coming. Now right now we're at the scene where, look at that. He's getting the beating, guys. Can I make this bigger? Hold on. Let me see if I can make this bigger for you guys. There you go. And I might be able to copy. Let's go over here. Is that on there? Nope. That was too big. Let's go paste. Reference or duplicate? Let's say reference. Okay, there we go. Yeah. And then we got it. Look at that, guys. All right, cool. We can't show too much of the movie, so we'll go back over here for now. But yeah, man, he beat the living shit out of that kid with a tree branch. Okay, what's up, Rosemary? How are you doing? Yeah. Andre says this movie's better than Ends. Maybe it's like, I always say this is like one of my least favorite Halloween movies, but man, there is so much to discuss when you're watching it. Like, I think this is the one to watch with a group of friends. And I don't think anybody could ever shut up if you're watching this movie. Like, you feel like you have to discuss what's going on, because it's like, here's what this movie's like. Okay? I'm Rob Zombie, okay? This is what Rob Zombie's doing in this movie, all right? Am I right? Rob Zombie is really throwing shit at you. That's what it feels like. And I'm like, why are you, Rob, why are you doing this? Jeez, I feel like I'm being attacked. That's what this movie is. Whereas the other movies, you can kind of just settle in. Even Resurrection, you can kind of just settle in and chill out, right? Okay. Am I wrong on that, guys? Do you feel like you're being assaulted and attacked when you watch this movie? Jesus. So it's definitely like I knew this was going to be a fun commentary, and I knew I wouldn't be able to shut the fuck up. Okay, Mikey Weiss, what's up, brother? He says they have the full Halloween 2 making of documentary on YouTube. Say what you will about the movies, but Rob Zombie sure put a lot of detail and work into them. Oh my God, Mikey Weiss, I am so glad you said that. It's not on this one, but on the normal, I guess, director's cut release. The Michael Lives documentary might be in my top 5 all-time favorite documentaries. As far as like just showing you nuts to bolts, start to finish, how a movie is made, all the way from pre-production to production to post-production to reshoots. I mean, it's all there. It's all there. Sebastian with the first question. Do you prefer theatrical or directors for both films? Both films, easy answer, theatrical. Okay? I just think the theatrical gets more to the point. I think the theatrical versions are more accessible. And especially in this version where there's a, I'll just say, there's a rape scene in the director's cut. Okay? And I just don't think you need that in a Halloween movie. And maybe that's part of the problem with the producer's cut, right? Even though they don't show anything. But, man, like that scene is more like this. Right? You're just literally, you're dodging freaking bullets. Like, I mean, he's just going at you. Jesus. That's what this whole movie is. Okay? So, but I don't, I can watch either cut and be fine. But the theatrical to me is the better cut of both movies. Now, let me know, guys, have you ever heard this theory? Man, we're flying, guys. Look at this. We're flying. Michael is getting ready to do his thing. Oh, we got the Love Hurts. Here we go. There you go, guys. You knew it was worth it. There you go. Okay. Love Hurts. Okay. Man, let me take a drink. Jesus, I haven't even taken a drink yet. Oh, man. Oh, I was going to say about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Have you guys heard this theory about the theatrical cut that Laurie could be the killer? Like, she was the killer the whole time? There's like a fan theory that if you watch it, if you come to that conclusion, you can kind of connect those dots and come to that conclusion that she is the killer the whole time. I guess it's kind of like the High Tension, kind of like that, yeah. I like the theory, it is kind of cool that I like, even if I don't buy into them, I like when movies, they have these fan theories around them, because that means they're usually like either like a cult, they have a cult following, or they're just well loved by everybody. It's so much so that people feel the need to create their own fan theories. Fan theories are fun. They're just really fun. All right. Okay, now we're seeing the white mask. I don't know if I can. Hold on. Let me see. I'll quickly show you that. Oh, I better not. Hold on. Just in case. Oh, yeah. I think I just missed it too. Good deal. So, guys, while we're here, young Michael is going in. He's about to kill Ronnie. How do you guys feel about this whole opening? Do you think it's too much? For the Halloween movie, for the remake, would you have preferred this remake to be more, not, note for note to the first movie, but Would you prefer them just to kind of stay with the adult Myers? Because that is one thing I do love about the original is you got the young Myers, and then right away it jumps to Smith's Grove, and already you just feel on edge in a good way because of the music. It's raining at night. You got the nurse and Loomis. Have you done anything like this before? I love that opening scene in the original. And I don't think there's anything like that in this movie that really just sets the tone. It just gets under your skin, Whereas this, to me, even though there's some creepy stuff in here, as I'm watching it, I feel like I'm waiting for adult Myers to show up, And we spend a long time with this kid, right? Ray Jr., he says, what is your favorite Halloween besides the original? Well, my number 2, and it's pretty much always been my number 2, is Halloween 4. I really enjoy the back to the basics, as Mustafa would say, approach to Halloween 4. And at the end of the day, I think Halloween 4 is really scary. People give that one a lot of crap about the mask, and I don't think they're wrong. But when I saw it opening night back in '88, it was still effective despite the mask. Like, everybody in the theater was on the edge of their seats. And I didn't really hear people complaining about the mask too much, I guess, until the internet age kind of kicked in. It's not the best mask, for sure. And I think it all comes down to lighting. Like, there's sometimes where the mask looks... Well, hell, I mean, you can see the mask right behind me. There's the Halloween 4 mask. But, and there's the Halloween 4 wrap. Wait, well, yeah, there it is. Boom. Yeah. Chris says Halloween 4 is his number 1. I respect that. Guys, let me ask you this. Do you think we all love the original, okay? The original is my all-time favorite movie. I love that. I just love John Carpenter's direction. I think when it comes, I love the simplicity of it. But what Halloween movie do you find to be the most entertaining? Like you find yourself constantly wanting to throw it in. Is it the first movie or is it a different movie? Because I might be able to say Halloween 4. I think I always want to throw in Halloween 4, Halloween 6, even Halloween 5 lately. Maybe I just like watching that trilogy. Halloween Kills. Yeah, Kills is a really high one up there for me for as far as like entertainment goes. It's just pure cheese entertainment. It's fun, It's a pizza movie. We're about to get to the bat beatdown. What did Chester say? It says, Chester, good choice. Halloween 2, 1981 for me. Yeah, that one's a good one too. Although I think it's a little... People have been really loving on Halloween 2 lately. And don't get me wrong, there's things about that movie that are phenomenal. Especially the cinematography. Just the time period it came out, that 1981 feel, the hospital setting. Those things are great. I think I wish I would have liked it to be just a little bit more action-packed in the middle. It does kind of drag a little bit, but whereas like movies like Kills, it never lets up. It never stops, right? So we got the bat beat down. You see the feet twitching and everything? That's what you get with a Rob Zombie movie. You get a lot of screaming and flailing, right? Screaming and flailing. That's what you get. I posted today about like what's a movie that you wish you could have seen like the first week or opening night in the theater that you didn't get to, and answer that question for me, guys. But my answer to that was Rob Zombie's Halloween. Just because I didn't get to see that movie in the theater until like a month later because I was in Japan at the time. And we didn't get movies over there until a couple weeks at the earliest. And when I saw it, there weren't that many people in the theater. And the people that were there, they weren't really big Halloween fans, So, I wanted to see this movie opening night so freaking bad. I just wanted to see people's reactions because when I first heard that Rob Zombie was making a Halloween movie, my interest peaked immediately. I was just like, "Whoa, this could be amazing," Because think back too, guys. Rob Zombie had only done a couple movies before Halloween. He did like The Devil's Rejects. He did House of a Thousand Corpses. Maybe one other. I'm not even sure. So, and I love those two movies. So I thought, man, Rob Zombie's what I call a dangerous director. You know what I mean? Almost like a grindhouse type director. And so I was like, man, we've never had a Halloween movie like this before. Even before the movie was made, I was thinking that. Like, what could Rob Zombie do to a Halloween movie? Right? And I remember even like reading like interviews with him along the way, and he was saying that this was going to be very bloody. And I was like, oh, man. So I was so curious about this movie. And so I wanted to see that reaction, So how many of you guys saw this movie on opening night? And what was your experience like? Was the crowd really loud? Were they getting into the movie like crazy? Or was it just silent? Or I'll even say, were there even like any awkward scenes, that you were like, ugh, this is weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching, but man. Sebastian, I wish I could, but I was 4. So Sebastian, you were 4 when this movie came out? 2007. Jesus. Vengeance says, mine was Halloween 2018, my first Halloween in theaters. My first one was 4. Chronologically, my first that I saw in the theaters was 4. So, I tell you right now, this scene is pretty damn creepy. Remember when you first saw this scene in the theater? A kid bloodied up with the mask on and the knife and everything. I thought it was pretty crazy at the time, And that's definitely Rob Zombie, And I guess as much shit as I give this movie, I don't think as far as a Rob Zombie movie goes, I guess I wouldn't have it any other way. And I know that sounds kind of weird to say for a movie that you don't really care for, but I think the high marks about it are really high. I like that it's full on Rob Zombie. At least it's not like kind of neutered or watered down, like the Prom Night remake. I know some of you like the Prom Night remake, but man, I just can't. I simply can't. Yeah. Man, Brooke Scarlett's in there. What's up, Professor Strangefinger? Seen some more people pop in. Captain Meets Avengers. My first Halloween movie was H3 Season of the Witch on TV. It was a double header with The Fog. Oh my God, what a ride. So that was on TV though? You didn't get to see it like in the theater or anything? That would have been cool. I will say, guys, what was the first Halloween movie to get you into the franchise? Okay? To get you in. Because for me, it was 4. Now, I remember I did see Halloween 2. Well, I mean, I saw all 3 of them before Halloween 4, but I was only kind of a casual fan. And I think seeing Halloween 3 kind of, I guess, tapered down my excitement for the franchise. At the time, I didn't like it at all at the time. But I've grown to love Halloween 3. And Knight, what's up, brother? Nice to see you in here. But Halloween 4 is the one that got me like, okay, it's it. I'm official. I am a fanatic of this franchise. There's no turning back, And that's what I love about being a horror fan, guys, if I'm being honest. Us horror fans, am I right, guys? There's no turning back. Am I right? Once you are, bit by that horror bug, am I right, guys? There's no turning back. You are that for life. Male, female, doesn't matter. You are a horror fanatic for life. That's what I love about horror. You know, I'll die a horror fan. It might as well be on my tombstone. Once you get the horror bug, 100. That's right, Alan. That's right. H2O was the first Halloween movie in the theater for Brooke. I would imagine a lot of you probably see that was probably your first. I see that all the time. H2O being their first. I will say, I saw H2O opening night. I was extremely excited to see it. But even before I saw it, I was a little skeptical because for me, Halloween, it was kind of almost an underground type thing, right? With Halloween 6, 5, and 4. It was like almost like a cult following type deal, you know? I didn't need the theater to be packed, even though it usually was anyway. But as soon as H2O was announced and even the trailer looked kind of polished, I was a little skeptical. I was thinking this is probably going to be a little watered down. It's probably going to be thin in terms of the story, which is fine. That's what the first movie's very simple. So that's fine. And I was right. For me, I was right. I had a decent time with H2O in the theater, but I came out like, man, I wanted so much more. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like when I came out of Halloween 6 and 4. When I came out of those movies, I was literally like shaking. Like, oh my God, that was an amazing experience. Whereas H2O, I came out and I was like, damn, I wish they would have went darker, heavier. Even the final act felt like it was just way too quick, you know? Okay, so now, guys, we got, just to give you guys a timestamp, we got Myers. He is in Smiths Grove Sanitarium. And again, I love Sherry Moon Zombie in this movie. She really sells herself as a loving mother. Can you imagine being a mother and being in that situation, guys, where your child literally just killed everybody in your family? Can you imagine the stress that your mother would be feeling? And I really think Sherry Moon, she captured that emotion beautifully. And I've even given like Sherry Moon Zombie, I don't want to say crap. By the way, guys, I love Sherry Moon Zombie to death. I think she's probably one of the coolest people in the world to hang around with. Okay, but I've stated before that is she, you know, like what's one of our high caliber actresses today? Okay, like Margot Robbie is a great actress. There's one that John Krasinski's wife. Emily Blunt. That's a great actress, okay? Is Sherry Moon Zombie Emily Blunt? No, she's not, okay? And that's fine. That's fine. But I do love her in this movie. This right here, guys, this is the one scene that made me think, or it was pretty much the image in my mind of Loomis and Myers together, across a table with a microphone, and interview style. Even before this movie came out, that's the image that I always was curious about. You know, if they ever went and did a Halloween remake, you know, I would be curious to see what those meetings, for lack of a better word, were like between Loomis and Myers as a child, you know. And then this movie came out, and the scenes, I don't hate them, but they didn't capture that imagination like I thought they were going to, you know? Hey, Internet Eric here. What's up, man? He says, Sherry is great in this. Her best performance, and I think it's because she's playing it completely straight. Yeah, I completely agree. You know? I'll even say this. As much as I absolutely love Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and those two movies, Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, are like quite a ways from each other in my ranking, okay? Quite a ways. Sherry Moon Zombie is better in this movie than she is in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Would you guys agree with that? I don't think her acting's bad in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but I feel like she's more focused and comfortable in this role than she is in the second one. Am I wrong, guys? Am I wrong? And I still like her in the second one, but she's definitely going for a darker approach. Polly said, my cousin offered to pay for me to see Halloween 2018 in theaters. I turned it down. Zero regrets. And guys, here's the reason why I felt underwhelmed with Myers and Loomis. Scenes like this, Myers screaming and Loomis putting his hand on his... To me, that's not what Myers would do even as a child. And they kind of covered this even in the original franchise, the original timeline. Myers was pretty stoic and didn't really talk, and that was the impression that you got about him from Loomis when Loomis would give his great speeches about Myers. I think if Myers as a child would have acted out and been completely like an insane lunatic like he is a couple of times, I think Loomis probably would have mentioned that. But Loomis constantly would talk about how frighteningly stoic Myers was, and I think almost like a snake that just sits there still and just waits, and it's impatient, and that's what Myers does. Do you guys prefer Myers like that, or do you like Myers to be kind of like a dog on a leash? I prefer him to be just like a snake, just waiting, impatient. I don't get the vibe that Myers is impatient in this movie, right? Again, it's Rob Zombie throwing shit at you, That's even Myers. That's what this movie feels like to me. Okay, and those that jumped in the chat after I did that, you're probably like, "What the fuck is Lee doing?" Okay, Billy M says he goes from flicking candy corn to stabby stabby. Yeah, that's true, and that's not a vision I have of young Myers in the original Halloween. I can't imagine Myers flicking candy corn and then just, the whole act of killing Judith in the first movie was chilling, right? To be fair, when you first saw this movie, it was definitely shock and awe how it all played out. But I think when you watch it over and over, it kind of tapers itself down. Whereas the original, it's still chilling. Every single time I see him go upstairs and stab Judith, it's still chilling every time. Zito Music, what's up, man? How you doing? Now we have Myers stabby stabby. The nurse, Sybil Danning. Man, poor Judith, or not Judith, Deborah Myers, right? Like, this is a mother. She loves her son, and there hasn't been any killings since he killed Judith, and maybe the mother was getting a little hopeful that maybe he can be rehabilitated. Will he ever get out of here? Probably not, but maybe a little bit of sanity that, maybe he'll come back around. And then this happens. And oh shit, now I've lost him for good. If he's a danger to society now. If he ever gets out, that's it. It's over. So yeah. Chris says, I love this freeze frame depicting an innocent child that was in Michael is completely gone at this point. Yeah, true. Yeah, now we got another reason I love Sherry Moon. She looks completely just heartbroken, and there's little moments, and she's pretty much having to let go, right? She takes her own life. It's tragic. That is one thing I do like about this movie, is where we knew nothing about Michael's parents, and I think there's shades of goodness, I guess, in this movie concerning, at least for Deborah. I like Deborah in this. Oh, I love these two guys. I wouldn't want to bum the freak out. Danny Trejo was great in this too, because he was, he was nice to Michael. You didn't want Michael to kill him. And that's the one thing that I think Rob Zombie did right in the script department was he killed him, and Myers would kill him. It doesn't matter how nice you are to Myers. Myers, in his true nature, is just a killer, and he will kill you. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, hell, even Loomis tried to reach the guy in the original series, and there were these brief little moments here and there, like in Halloween 5, when he's trying to touch him and trying to take his knife, and he just barely touches it, and then Michael just pulls away. He will kill anyone. So I'm glad that Rob Zombie did not make him spare Danny Trejo. Sebastian, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 Shack's nothing like... Well, I think what he was going for is because Deborah's already dead. And so maybe it's more Michael's fucked up consciousness, the way he sees his mother in his head as kind of his guide telling him what to do. He doesn't see his mother as just a loving mother, So we're seeing it kind of from his perspective, right? We're not seeing the real perspective. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, Chris just described it better than I could. The H2 version isn't Deborah Myers. It's Michael's hallucination of his mother in his own dark mind. Thank you very much. Beautifully stated. Guys, what did you think of Malcolm McDowell as Loomis? I was thinking about this the other day. And I don't, there's moments I like of him, but for the most part, Malcolm McDowell's a great actor. But I just thought to myself, I guess, can you really play Loomis anywhere near as good as Donald Pleasance? I don't know. I don't think I mean, there's some great actors out there, right? I mean, hell, at the very end of the Halloween Returns script, it's revealed that it's a Gary Oldman. I guess that was his dream actor to play Loomis. Was Gary Oldman. And right away I got it. I was like, oh man, Gary Oldman would probably do a damn good job as Loomis. Okay? So maybe it was a miscast. I wasn't the biggest fan of Malcolm McDowell, if I'm being honest. I guess like Brooks says there, he's okay. He's not bad. I don't even mind him in part 2. I know a lot of people hated Loomis in part 2, but this is a different Loomis, and I think Rob Zombie was wanting him to go down a different path, be consumed by greed. And that's not Loomis at all. That's not who the Donald Pleasance Loomis. He's not a greedy type of person. All he cares about is keeping the community safe from Myers. That's it. That's his number one goal. Whereas you don't really get that from Malcolm McDowell. I do think he's better as Loomis in this movie than he is in 2. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just able to separate myself from, the what I would call the real Loomis, right? He's an alternate universe Loomis, I guess. We're in the multiverse right now. Okay. So yeah, we got the breakout now. It's coming. Guys, did you prefer this breakout or did you prefer the director's cut breakout? Let me know. All right. It's about to get real. I do like that Myers had different masks in this. He would create his own masks. That was kind of cool, and I could buy that. I could buy that the Myers in the other franchise would do stuff like that. But I think this is the better Prison Break scene for sure. I'm going back and forth because I don't want to get a copyright thing or anything, but I want to show you guys the scene where he breaks out. There's a police academy. What's her name? Is it Callahan? I can't remember. Loved her in Police Academy, though. Oh, here we go. It's a good breakout scene too. You know, he breaks the freaking chains, whips the shit out of him with it. Yeah. This is definitely one of the better scenes. Oh shit, it just got real. Yeah. I do love that, you know, Rob Zombie was like, okay, we're not making the Carpenter Halloween where there's like very little blood. We are going to completely, you know, when there's a need, we're gonna spray the freaking scene with blood, you know? Because, and like, I hate to you know, piss on the prom night remake, but like there was a scene in that. There's a couple scenes where like the killer, he like stabs his victims, and all you see is like just these little bitty red circles on their shirt, and that takes you out of the movie because you know for sure there would be freaking blood all over the place if somebody was stabbed, like, let's say 5 times, you know? Now, I know Rob Zombie said that this movie was not a fun experience. And the reason being is because of the Weinsteins. I don't remember if it was, I think it was both of them. But I think he said Bob was the one that was more of a pain in the ass. And they would just like constantly call up and, because he, like after a freaking 16-hour day of shooting, he would have to have like a phone call with them, you know, for like 2 hours every night. And they would just come at him with all these freaking crazy ideas that he would have to completely change the schedule around. He would have to build new sets. And I'm like, you guys are in the filmmaking business. You should know better, you know? It kind of reminded me of like the, if you guys have seen the Canon Films documentary, when they talk about those guys in their meetings. And it's like they're not thinking like normal people, you know? Like talking about the Canon Films doc. They were talking about they had this meeting with these actors for a movie that had an orangutan, and there was an orangutan in the meeting, you know, and the Golan and Globus, they were literally talking to the orangutan like it was a real person and actually trying to explain things to it. And all the other actors are like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? But these Hollywood producers, man, sometimes they're just a little bit wacky. Just a little bit wacky, right? Billy M, enjoy Returns. I did like the Returns script. I would be curious to see how that would translate onto film. But yeah. Ever read Halloween 4 OG script? No, I haven't. I've always been curious to read it, though. Because I heard the original direction they wanted to go, I think, is more kind of close to like what we got in like Ends, right? Whereas, Myers has gone, but his presence is still there with the town. So they took some ideas from that script, and I think they applied them to Ends. So yeah, I haven't read it though. The only script that I've read of Halloween, that movies that weren't made, is Halloween Returns, right? Okay, I think we are. Okay, yeah. So Myers has broken out now, and we got Clint Howard. It's a fucking massacre. I loved Clint Howard in what's the third Firefly family movie? It was House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. What's the third one called, guys? Oh, Tom Sawyer. That's not the name of the movie. The song. Three from Hell. Thank you very much. Yeah. By the way, guys, I really liked Three from Hell. I think Three from Hell might be the tamest Rob Zombie movie. You know, there's a heavy focus on comedy in that movie. And it surprised me. I didn't think I was going to like it that much, but I had a good time with it. Chris says, say what you want about Rob Zombie's movies, but all these horror alum seem to have a great time working with him. Yes, and I love that Rob Zombie likes to give parts to older people, older actors. He even talked about that. He's had some actors in there like freaking, I think, 70s and 80s in his movies, in 31. And he says, these are people that they're great actors, but they can't get work because Hollywood, let's face it, it's a young person's world, right? Fans of something, yes, thank you very much. The Monsters is definitely the tamest Rob Zombie movie. The Monsters is Rob Zombie trying his damnedest to make a full-fledged comedy. And can I be completely honest with you? I hated The Monsters, okay? It was so tough for me to get through that movie, It's just, movies, it's an art form where you have to buy into it. You got to buy into that world, or you got to be latched on to the comedy, whatever, or the scares. But if they lose you and they can never grab you and they just keep throwing weird shit at you, it's hard to stay with it, right? JD is LA. That's a good question. What time frame is this movie supposed to be set in? What decade? I can never figure it out. Very true. Even in the quote-unquote present day, guys, are there any like cell phones? I don't see any. And I think Rob Zombie did that intentionally. He didn't want to set it in a certain time frame, But it's weird too because you got like this right here is supposed to be like the present day, but you got like Rush, Tom Sawyer playing. The music is all over the place. And usually in movies, the music kind of tells us where we are, If we're in the 70s, you're going to hear 70s music. If we're in the modern day, you're going to hear modern day music. But Rob Zombie, I don't think he likes to do that. I think he's just like, I like this song. I want to put this in my movie, right? We got the Joe Grizzly fight. And those two guys, man, they were getting crazy too. Because I think they didn't plan on the stall being completely bent in and beat up to shit, but that's what happened. Chester, he says, Lee, what is your favorite scene in this movie? For me, Michael putting on the mask in the house when he gets the mask from the floor. Chester, that's definitely one of my favorite. It's one that always sticks out. That's a good question. I'm trying to give you a good answer. My favorite scene in this movie. I do love like the scene in the house where you have Lindsay and she's sitting on the couch and Myers is just kind of standing behind her. I always thought that scene was really creepy. That's definitely a fun scene. I do like the final act in this movie, but I do think it goes on a little bit too long. But I still think it's a very effective final act. I just don't like, I think they could have toned down the screaming, because it feels like Laurie is just screaming for a solid 20 minutes in the movie, and it does get a little bit. I guess it makes you appreciate Jamie Lee Curtis because she screamed, but there was more variety to her performance, right? So, Tiff, what's up? How are you doing? Chris says, fun fact, they actually broke the real stall instead of the fake one. Yeah. Here's a fun fact about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Hey, here's Scout Taylor Compton for the first time. Yep. I liked Scout in this movie, except for the screaming part at the end, okay? And maybe that's not her fault, but... that's just a script, And I bet her voice was freaking gone every night in this movie when she had to, do those scenes. Now, here's a fun fact. Remember Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, right? The opening scene in the hospital when they come out and it's raining and you got that checkpoint structure, where the security guy's there, right? Rob Zombie, he wanted that built in a way where when Michael is hitting it with the axe, it would break apart pretty easily, right? But they built the thing, solid as a rock. And so when they were shooting it, Rob Zombie said it took forever for him to like chop the thing down because, they freaking fully studded it out and everything. And, if you have a stud wall with the bracing and everything in there, sheetrock and all that, it's going to take a while to completely chop the thing down with an axe. Okay. So I thought that was kind of fun. By the way, I stood in that parking lot. One of the highlights of my life. Stood in the parking lot where they shot that scene when I was in Georgia and I was doing this training. And I found out that I was literally 45 minutes from Covington, Georgia. And I said, holy shit, this is a golden opportunity. And I was going to do Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 Revisited. So I decided, why not drive down there, kill two birds with one stone, and actually film some of the footage there and put it in the review, which was what I did. A couple of interesting things too about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. We can talk about that since we just celebrated that anniversary too. The hospital parking lot it's raining and Myers is walking is not a hospital. It's actually a high school. It's either the side or I think it's the back side of a high school in Covington, Georgia. And then I drove out to the Brackett house. And that house is like way out in the middle of nowhere. It's like another 20-minute ride from everything else. And I was like shaking. And there's like a big freaking gate around it. It's like a farm. It looks like a farm. So the house is quite a ways even from like the gate. But it was cool to be there, I always forget this kid's name, but he's in everything now these days. The kid that played Tommy. His career has went on, and he's in The Righteous Gemstones, Santa Clarita Diet, and so many other things. He's been doing really well. I would even say out of this movie, he might be one of the most successful young actors, I think his career is maybe even doing better than Scout Taylor Compton's, So, guys, which Lori, Linda, and Annie do you like the best? Do you like this one, or do you like the one in the original? Oh my God, there's a channel called Drumdums Biggest Hater #1. What the hell? Oh God. Well, on that note, I'm opening up my root beer. Okay, cool. Did you just create that account? Be nice, all right? Be nice. Okay. Devin Collins, not sure if it really is or not, but Brackett's house might be the same as the farmhouse from Walking Dead Season 2. It could be because both are like in Georgia, and I think a lot of Walking Dead is filmed around the like Atlanta area. And Covington, I don't think is that far from Atlanta. So it could be. It very well could be for sure. Maybe they use that house a lot for a lot of different movies. I don't know. I hate to bring up Prom Night Remake again, but guys, there is a connection between Halloween and the Prom Night Remake. What is it, guys? Can any of you tell me? What is the connection? All right, what is the connection? I'll tell you the answer in a minute, but yeah. Now, I know Donald Pleasance, he didn't watch any of, he had never seen the original Halloween, and he didn't watch any of, Malcolm McDowell did not watch any of Donald Pleasance's performance. He wanted to do his own thing, which is good. I think it's good. But I think the thing that's off about it, that's weird, is there are certain lines in this movie that are the exact same lines that Donald Pleasance had, and you can't help but compare the two. And I think Malcolm's delivery of the lines is a little, they can't compare to Donald Pleasance, the way he delivered the lines, the way, Donald Pleasance just delivered them perfectly. Whereas when Malcolm delivered them, it felt like acting. Like Donald Pleasance, it didn't feel like acting. It felt like a real guy, Whereas Malcolm, and maybe it's because we're so used to those lines, maybe it's not even Malcolm's fault, but yeah, for some reason, because we're so used to those lines, it just didn't feel natural, and so it just stuck out, Thank you, Polly. Okay, the prom night. Let me tell you, there is a scene in the prom night remake. I think it's where they're getting their hair done. If you look out the window, you can see the original Myers house. Isn't that crazy? Thank you. There you go. Dream Villain gets it. You never read my comments. Now I'm getting revenge. Okay, there you go. Now I'll read your comments. All right, here we go. Brad freaking Dourif. That's the one thing you can't go wrong with Brad Dourif's bracket. There's Danielle Harris. That's another thing about this movie, too. I don't think they should have cast Danielle Harris as Annie. Guys, I'm the biggest Danielle Harris fan around. I love Jamie Lloyd as a character. Casting her in this movie, it throws you off a little bit. You can't help but maybe see her as Jamie Lloyd, So I almost think maybe they should have cast a different actress as Annie. I don't know. Also, now let me ask you guys this, okay? Do you think her being in this movie hurts her chances of coming back to the franchise as Jamie Lloyd? I kind of do, right? Chris, you are the man. Oh man, rip Sid Haig. There you go. Damn. Freaking legend, Sid Haig. And I reviewed Spider Baby, a 60s movie with a young Sid Haig in it. And when I watched that movie, I thought, damn, this is where, Rob Zombie must have been heavily influenced by Spider Baby. If you guys have never seen Spider Baby, check it out. And it's about a really messed up, deranged family. And you can't help but think of the Firefly family when you watch it. And it's like, wow, they really, or Rob Zombie was really influenced by Spider Baby. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and we're at Linda's. Yeah, I don't know. I always forget. Is that Linda's house? No. Linda's going over to another kid's house to babysit. Yeah. But they're going into the Myers house, okay? And Myers is there. And Linda didn't go in the Myers house in the original, which that's cool. I got no problem with that. Change things up. That's cool. But this is a cool shot right here, guys. Myers just standing there. I guess one of my problems with this movie is the scenes that they do pretty much copy the original. Kind of like my complaint about Malcolm McDowell, are just lesser, They don't, the iconic See Anything You Like, Bob, Get Me a Beer, all that stuff. I don't know. It just doesn't hit home. So I think maybe Rob Zombie should have just had a completely different script, That's the problem when you remake classics. It's always a tough road when you remake classics. That's why they always say you should remake bad movies. You know, you shouldn't remake classics because it's an uphill battle every time. I didn't bring popcorn because I felt like and I have gotten complaints about my smacking, and so I'm trying to be cognizant of that. Okay. Oh, that's a man. Tyler Mane, guys, what'd you guys think about Tyler Mane in this? He is definitely one of the bright spots. And the mask, I think it's another situation like Halloween 4, right? I've seen some really bad Rob Zombie Halloween masks, you know, out there on the market. I don't know what it is. Maybe it just doesn't translate great into real life, because in the movie, I think the mask looks amazing. But again, I think maybe they don't mass produce it the right way. I don't know what it is, but I've seen more bad versions of this mask than good versions out there on the market. Maybe that's why I don't even own it yet. And I think I kind of prefer the second from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, even though it's pretty much the same mask, except it's ripped. Okay, so we got Bob's death here. Now, have you guys seen the Workprint version? What is the one thing that you got out of Bob's death in this movie? Okay, here's the one thing I got. Bob has really proportionate feet. Okay, Lee not drinking Monster tonight. Oh my God, I shouldn't even admit this. I'm ashamed to admit it. Okay, I'll admit it though, you know, because I gotta be honest. I had 2 freaking Monsters today already. Jesus, I gotta quit, guys. I'm not proud of it at all. Yeah, he's got really nice feet, right? Yeah, but a lot of these scenes, it just feels like Rob Zombie. I don't know. I think he was maybe reaching for something more creative, but it just kind of maybe it's at this point in the filming, Rob Zombie had already been like, he's like, I'm done with this. I'm so sick of this. You could almost like see it through the screen, because some of the stuff in the movie does feel kind of lazy, you know, like a lesser version of the original, right? Even the script is kind of lazy. You know, some of the lines. I know that, like, behind the scenes, Rob Zombie would have his actors like just come up with lines on the day. If you watch that Michael Lives documentary, you'll see a couple of moments like that where he has like Danielle Harris and Scout, and they're just sitting around kind of brainstorming. You know, like, how would your character say something like this? And they would literally like make up dialogue on the spot. And I think it kind of shows, you know? You got Myers carrying a naked Linda out. So I guess as much as I complain about the opening of the movie, at least it's interesting and it's unique and it's different. You know, I guess the whole kids portion of the movie is quite different than this part of the movie. But visually, this part of the movie's got some great looking stuff in it. You know, I like the lighting and everything. I like the sets, the house that they used. Great cast. But I think it just comes down to maybe just the script and just the overall like setup of the scenes. I don't know. And maybe I do. Like I've told myself for years, I prefer this half of the movie over the first half, but maybe I do prefer the first half over the second half. I don't know. I still don't know. This is the movie that puzzles me. Okay, I think it starts off kind of strong, and then it just kind of, I don't know. Oh, I hope I didn't have that up too long. Damn it. And it's weird too because the characters are quite likable. Like before Scout, Lori is in peril, in danger, and all that. Very likable. I'm behind her all the way, and how can I put this? I think she's the least Rob Zombie character in the movie. Okay, does that make sense? And I do mean that in a good way. It's like they grabbed somebody out of a more of like a Millennium slasher, and let's put her in a Rob Zombie movie and see what happens. It's kind of like that. Do you know what I mean, guys? Am I making sense? Which horror version would work better, SpongeBob or Animaniacs? I have no idea. Yes, she's definitely more Rob Zombie-like in Halloween 2, for sure. Maybe that's the thing, too. Let's go ahead and compare Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. That movie feels completely fresh, Everything in that movie feels like its own thing. I'm with the story. I like where it's going. It gets more and more frantic, but in the best way. And it doesn't feel Frankenstein together, right? This movie to me feels kind of Frankenstein together. Let's take a little bit of this. Let's take a little bit of this. Let's take a little bit of this. This isn't mine. This is mine. And let's just kind of cobble it all together and see what we get. That's what this one feels like. I think more than any other Halloween movie, I think Rob Zombie's Halloween feels the most Frankenstein. Do you guys agree with me on that? It has like moments in it that are cool, but overall, the overall execution just, I don't know. It's better than Resurrection, though. I'll definitely give it that, okay? It's better than Resurrection. And I still wish I could have seen the audience's reaction opening night. Now, I will say my buddy Larry, some of you know Larry, right? Larry's been on my channel a couple times. He's one of my best friends, was in the military with me. Larry and I met through Halloween, Before Rob Zombie's Halloween came out, I met Larry in 2006, I think. Yeah. And one of the things that we started talking about was not Rob Zombie, was Halloween. We both were just massive fans of the franchise, loved the first movie. We even went and seen Halloween in 2006. We went and seen the first Halloween in the theater when they were showing it. So we were both really excited for Rob Zombie's Halloween. Larry saw it before I did because I was in Japan at the time. And I couldn't wait. Like I was waiting with bated breath to find out what Larry's opinion of the movie was. And here's what Larry said. He said, Lee, you're not going to believe this. Because we pretty much liked most of the Halloween movies. We kind of knew what to expect. He said, Rob Zombie's Halloween is probably the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. And I was like, whoa, Larry, what did you just say? I did like this. I thought he was like possessed by a demon or something like that. Don't you dare say that. And I hadn't even seen the movie yet. But Larry was just like, he's like, dude, I was just so freaking upset. I could not believe what they did in this movie. And so my initial reaction to that was, damn it. And then the second reaction was, maybe Larry's just not like a Rob Zombie fan. Maybe that's what this is, Maybe I'll still love this movie. And so, cut to the chase when I eventually saw the movie. And by the way, the first time I saw the movie was at home. I saw the Workprint. I liked it more than Larry did, obviously, but I still saw the problem. I was like, I can see why people don't like this movie, okay? And it definitely wasn't like in my top 5 Halloween movies, right? Zodiac, what's up, man? Says the second God of Thunder hit. I was, fuck yes. What's up, everyone? Yeah. Yeah, the very beginning of the movie. Now, guys, do you remember what was the opening song in the Workprint? Because I do. It was the Monster Mash. The Monster Mash. I think I prefer that they opened up with God of Thunder, though. But, you know, I think Rob Zombie likes to tinker with his movies, though, which I think that's fair. I think most directors do, but he doesn't seem like, or at least with the Halloween franchise, he didn't seem like he was like, I have this trajectory that I want to do. I want my character, I want Myers to do this, this, and this, and then lock it up. That's exactly what I want to do, and then just follow that. No, it felt more like he was laying the tracks as he went along in the movie, and sometimes not knowing, kind of like Stand By Me, right? Like Rob Zombie is like running on the tracks in Stand By Me, and he's crying because the director's yelling at him. But in this case, it was the producers instead of the director. And he just like jumps off the train tracks at the end of the movie. Beth, what's up? How are you doing? I bet Beth will like that ramp up. Well, that kind of fits too with what I was saying earlier, right, guys? The throwing shit at the screen. That's what he's doing. He's throwing shit at the screen. And Rob Zombie feels like things are being thrown at him by the producers, So he's throwing stuff at us, producers throwing stuff at him. He's jumping off the train tracks, right? I'm losing my mind. Yeah, and then you got stuff like this. What? Who's doing that? Why are they doing this? This isn't like would the original Laurie Strode and Annie hump each other in the doorway in front of the kids? I don't think so. All right, I'm not buying it. I'll buy that for $1. What movie is that from, guys? Okay. Beth, how's your day going? Nice to see Beth in here. There we go. Loved that barfing scene as a kid. What was the barfing scene? Sebastian says, I get the hate for that, but I like it. RoboCop, thank you. There you go. Yeah. No, I cannot fly, Nicholas. I wish I could. Can you imagine that? Like sometimes I look at birds and I'm like, damn, that's a gift to be able to fly, Pretty cool. What does Brackett say to him? And I mean razor thin. Is that what he says, guys? I want you to be razor thin with me. I can't remember what he says. Him and Loomis do have kind of an interesting relationship with each other. I would watch a whole movie with just Brackett and Loomis driving around, like this Brackett and Loomis. I can't say anything bad about Brad Dourif, guys. That's the good news, okay? Brad Dourif is always amazing in everything he's in. You can't help but love Brad Dourif. Razor straight. Thank you very much. Not JPEG. Yeah. The bloopers of them drunk in the cop car are the best. Yeah, the blooper reel's pretty good for this movie. We got a gruesome scene coming up here. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I leave it on there too long? Damn it! I'm going to get a copyright. A 4.5 hour making love is incredible. What? You're not wrong. Although you'd be tired. Dave Vanderhoff, I love you. Gladiator 2 is just straight unnecessary. That is true. That is very true. You've reached the Strode residence. Hey guys, give me an unnecessary sequel since we're having fun, okay? What is an unnecessary sequel? American Pie 2. No, not American Pie. I'm sorry. American Psycho 2. Very, very much. Yeah, again, I like Scout in this. I do. Just up into the screaming, right? Prom Night 2, take that back, Sebastian. What are you doing? Jesus. Christmas Story Christmas. Jesus, that's a good one. I still haven't even watched that. Ugh. And that's not even like the first sequel. Didn't they have like this a summer story or something like that? Which is even more unnecessary. Jeepers Creepers 3 and 4. Prom Night 2 I prefer over the first Prom Night. And I like the first Prom Night quite a bit, actually. Yeah, it is weird, for sure. But it's fun. It's really fun. No fucking wings! It is weird. Titanic 2. Hey guys, what's that studio that makes all those movies? I can't remember. One of you are gonna know that makes those like freaking the shark movies, Sharknado. What's that studio that does all those? You know, Time Cop 2, 8mm 2, Hocus Pocus 2. Oh my God, Hocus Pocus 2 was horrible, horrible. It had no right, Brooke. What's the best sequels? Oh. Aliens. I can't show you what's on the screen right now because Danielle Harris she's naked. Now this is a good chase scene. I will give that. And I bet Danielle Harris was pretty freaking sore at the end of this shoot. Because boy, did she give it her all. Yeah, Tyler Maine's not my favorite Myers, but he's probably one of the scariest. But I mean, looking at him right now, he looks like he's freaking 7 feet tall. Oh, hold on just a sec, guys. I mean, razor straight. One thing I will say about this movie is the town of Haddonfield does seem a lot bigger. You know, doesn't it seem kind of smaller in the first movie? I do love that house. There's a shot that's very similar to the original movie. Damn it. You just missed it. Where she's like walking away from the house. Asylum Films. Thank you, Tiff. Asylum Films. Okay, so we got some screaming. That little girl too, Lindsay. Jesus, boy, could she scream! If you listen to her podcast, David, it sounds like she's gotten naked a lot. Yeah, I posted something about, I think Asylum Films, they were thinking about doing a cocaine, you know how they had the cocaine, cocaine, was it Cocaine Shark? Or there was another cocaine movie that they were thinking about doing. Or Meth Gator, that's what it was. It just came to me, Meth Gator. And I think I posted something about that on Instagram. And then like Asylum Films, they like replied to it or something like that. I think they were thinking about doing a Meth Gator. Is that out yet, guys? What is the difference between a meth gator and a normal gator anyway, right? Both of them are still going to eat you, you know? And is the meth gator, is it looking for meth, or does it still just want to eat people? That's the thing too. And where's it going to get meth? If it doesn't get the meth, what does it do? Does it just get depressed or something? Or does it still eat people? I have questions. Razor straight. Okay, guys? I should put that. That's the title of this commentary. The razor straight Rob Zombie's Halloween commentary. Okay? How are we playing this, guys? We're playing it razor straight. Okay, guys? I want my audience to be razor straight. All right, we got screaming. Screaming just started. Laurie! The chase is on, guys. And guys, is this razor straight? Is this like the longest chase scene out of any Halloween movie? Is there a longer chase scene? I think this might be it, right, guys? Let's time it. And has the chase scene? I guess that was the start of it. So let me look at the time. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Razor straight. Okay, hold on. We are at 1:22. This movie is an hour and 50 minutes long. I guess the David Gordon Green movies are a little longer too, right, guys? So that means this chase scene, because it pretty much goes up until the end of the movie, right, guys? It's probably a 30-minute chase scene. Razor straight. I'm gonna lose all of you. I'm just gonna keep saying that until you guys just get so freaking tired of it. But it's amusing to me. Razor straight. What's the difference between razor straight and razor gay? How does the razor factor in? I have questions, damn it. Okay? Jesus. Sebastian's never seen Razor Straight. Well, it's so good they shouldn't make a sequel, I'll tell you that. Chester says, Lee, do you prefer the Shape Stalks theme in this one by Tyler Bates or the one in 78 by Carpenter? I prefer the Shape Stalks theme in the original. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Now, I remember when the theme and the soundtrack first came out for this movie, I really, really loved it. But I don't think, and I know it sounds like I'm shitting all over this movie, but I don't think it is razor straight. It's not razor straight like the first movie. Jesus. A.B. James says, The Nun 2 looks generic, jump scare central, but the first one made over $300 million on a shoestring budget. So I get why it's great. Yeah, I totally get that. And you just surprised me because I didn't think the first Nun made that much money. Holy crap. So yeah, I guess so. Rosalia, you don't get the razor straight? See, that's why you had to be there for the whole time. For the whole commentary. The score is razor thin in this one. Yeah, there you go. You're not wrong, Beth. Yeah, I didn't like The Nun. I didn't think so at all. This movie is pretty razor diagonal. It's razor pieced together. Oh, here you go. Hold on. Michael stabbing through the cops through the bathroom door. Damn. It just got real. Hey, guys, can you hear screaming from my end? Because I might have victims in the closet. I'll tell them to keep it down. I'll turn it down a little bit so I don't get a copyright claim. I mean, it's all screaming from here on out, so. Fun fact, this was the kid's first reaction to seeing Tyler as Michael. Their reaction is real. Wow, that's pretty interesting, Chris. I'd probably have that reaction too. Oh, that's a good shot right there. when he's carrying Lori. How many women does Michael carry in this movie like that? Okay. The answer is it 2? He carries Linda like that and Lori like that. You know, is that like a nice thing Michael does? You know, so they don't get into like strawberries or anything. It is a cool shot though, David. It is a cool shot. Yeah, surround sound screaming, Polly. 2, yeah, 2 or 3. I was trying to think, did young Michael carry Judith in the beginning? And he fell down because he hurt his back? Same thing with Michael busting. I heard about that. That Malcolm was not expecting Myers to like bust through the window. Jesus, what the hell? Like, I don't think Donald Pleasance would do that, you know? Although I guess Donald Pleasance did have some genuinely interesting reactions, for sure. For sure, I'll give you that. Michael in the cellar is both creepy and adorable. Very true. Yeah, this movie in the Workprint. Yeah, this movie in the Workprint ended like pretty soon here. Yeah, like now we have Lori, and she's about to have her first meeting with Myers. He shows her the picture. Look, you're my sister. Guys, sibling angle. Okay, I need your opinion right now. Does it matter to you? Do you like the sibling angle? Do you think it doesn't need to be in there? Let me know. What do you think about the sibling angle? Is that part of the charm of the Halloween franchise? And it's not there anymore. Remember, David Gordon Green trilogy, there was no sibling angle whatsoever. Did it make a difference, really? Like, I know they made a big deal out of we're not going to do that. But then in the end, like, they could have been siblings in the movie, and it really didn't even matter. I don't know. David Thorson says, I kind of prefer it. Beth says, I don't mind it. Probably unnecessary. Chris says, it's fine for the Rob Zombie movies. In the original movies, I don't like them being siblings. Interesting. Rosalia says, I hate the sibling angle. So, yeah, there's a lot of different opinions. I will say I always liked the sibling angle. I always thought it was interesting, the idea that you want to kill everyone in your family, in your bloodline, you know? To me, that is an interesting angle for a killer. And I don't think there's any other killer like that. And in the first movie, that was never planned out. But it's just something he added in the second movie to just give it substance, right? So, yeah, I've always liked the sibling angle just for how creepy it is that you would want to kill everybody in your family. Yeah. I think it worked better in like the earlier movies though. But I mean, I think the sibling thing was a big part of the Thorn trilogy too, right guys? Because, you know, he's wanting to get to Jamie Lloyd. He's wanting to kill his niece. I mean, anybody, you know, baby Steven in 6. That's Myers' like focus, you know? Whereas when he doesn't have the sibling angle, Myers he just wants to kill just to kill. Like there's no like purpose behind it or anything. He's not completely like, well, he's definitely screwed up, but you know what I mean. I'm watching this, and the more I think about it, I think this final act is too long, for sure. Antonis, how are you doing? I'm good, man. How are you doing? I think they could have chopped it down, you know? And you'll see what I mean, too, like when they get to, like, in the is it the attic? Where he starts, like, he takes the 2x4 and he's just, like, ramming it up for, like, what feels like 5 minutes, you know? And we got more screaming. It's frantic, right, guys? Really, really frantic. Love the gunshot at the end. I do like that. I think that's a good way to end the movie, you know? But to me, doesn't it feel kind of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre ending, right? Like that's what they were going for? Tom Ungren likes the scene. He thinks it's fire. I wonder if she cut herself on that chain link fence. Like I can't imagine Jamie Lee Curtis like doing that. You know, even in the first movie, I mean, she's definitely a damsel in distress, but she doesn't scream that much. You know. Dude. Is that like? Will I get a copyright strike if I do that? Dude. If I keep doing that, will this stream get shut down? Dude. Simplicity. So yeah, and it's pretty much Myers having to break through something about 5 times. Okay? I need you to break through this wall. I need you to break through this ceiling. I need you to jump in this pool. You know? Then I need you to break through that wall. Then I need you to break through this chain link fence. Then I need you to break through this copyright police. Oh, God. Oh, thank you, Dave. You like that thumbnail? I just threw it together like right before this. I think the thing is, you got to give the biggest fucking text letters you can possibly do. And behind that, you got to give the biggest freaking image of a face that you can possibly give. And that's an effective thumbnail, right? It works for me. Ooh, that's a cool shot of Myers. Hold on. What do we think about the pool scene, guys? Do we like the pool scene? Did you think the pool scene was... I know that they were like... This idea came to them when they were location scouting, and they found this house with this empty pool, and they were like, ooh, that'd be kind of cool if Myers, you know, I guess stalked Lori in a pool. Nathan Mills says he digs the pool scene. Dave says he likes the pool. Zombie should do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. That's what everybody said, you know? I would be curious to see what Zombie could do with a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I think he was kind of made for that, you know? Dave's been to this location. That's cool. You've seen the pool? If only he knew that he doesn't want to kill. Yeah. What if he just like stuck his hand? Hey, stop yelling. I don't want to kill you, okay? I think Loomis's coat is too big. All right. Am I right, guys? Does his coat look too big? Yeah, House of a Thousand Corpses does feel like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like on acid, but it does. Love the leaves in the pool scene. Yep. You know what? One thing I do love about Rob Zombie is his attention to detail with his sets. You can see that in the 4-hour documentary, you know? Like the opening scene, you know, the day of when they're shooting, Rob Zombie's like walking through the rooms and he sees this, it's like a baby crib. It's like a metal baby crib. And so he goes outside and he takes a rock and he just starts like scraping the baby crib so it looks like used and worn and everything. So Rob Zombie, he pays attention to detail and stuff like that. It's really cool. Empty pool, you can't drown in it. Yeah, maybe the pool should have had water. That's a good point, not JPEG. What if she was like, yeah, what if the pool was like full of water? Can we watch part 2 next? My voice would be gone. I should have done part 2 on the anniversary. Beth, we're doing this because this is the anniversary of, today is the anniversary of Rob Zombie's Halloween. So I thought like when I got home from work, I was like, hey, maybe I'll throw in, we'll do a watch party for this, right? So, CD, now we're getting down to business. Here we go. CED Talks Horror Podcast. He says, Scout is no Jamie Lee Curtis, but Scout plays a better victim being chased than Jamie. But Rob is a master of tension. Oh, I got a notification on my computer. Okay. Master of tension. He creates no hope for the victim scenarios better than anyone I've seen. I agree with that last sentence. I do think that Rob is really good at giving you the idea that this is not going to end well. I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with Scout being better than Jamie Lee at being a victim. Or victim being chased. And just because I think the screaming, like the constant screaming, like in real life, would she be screaming that much? Probably. But this is a movie, and your job in a movie is to entertain your audience. So you have to give some kind of variety. That's why pacing is so freaking important in movies. You know, would 20 minutes of screaming happen? Maybe, probably. But I think you want to kind of lay out your. It's like in the. I hate to compare Halloween to Rocky, but the fight scenes in the Rocky movies, Stallone would treat the fight scenes like a separate script. He would literally write out every punch in the fight scenes for every round. So that way there felt like some kind of variety. And I think that's what maybe Rob Zombie should have done with the final act of this movie. I think the final act of 2 is much better. You know, it's more, tight, okay? Razor straight. That's what it is. It's more razor straight. Whereas this one, not so much. Chad Prosser, what's up, man? How you doing? Nice seeing you in here. Check out his channel, guys, for all things horror, okay? Good little horror channel, all right? Let's see. Rosalia says, don't hate me, but I don't like Scout Taylor. Well, like I said, before the showdown, I really liked her as Laurie. And I'll say I like her as Laurie in the second movie all the way through. I think she's fantastic. So I guess I do like Scout Taylor Compton, but I just don't like the final act. And I don't even think that's her fault. I just don't think Rob Zombie gave her much to play with, you know? Chester, yes, that's in the work print. There's an alternate ending in the movie where Michael gets shot by the police. Yes, the Popo. Yep, and that's the end of the movie, which is not really that great of an ending. I don't know which ending I prefer. I mean, I think we passed that point where it's Loomis trying to stop Myers and then the cops shoot him. Well, then the scene goes on. And the reason that happened was because I guess he showed the work print to the Weinsteins, and the Weinsteins weren't satisfied. They said, no, we need a longer final act. Okay? So I think there's a better final act. I think they still should have tightened some things up here. But yeah. Dave Vanderhoff, he says, I love the beginning of Halloween Resurrection in the work print where they show Michael next to the shed playing Johnny Angel so great and creepy. I agree. I like that. That is a cool scene. It doesn't fit with the tone of the rest of the movie, but it is a cool scene for sure. Beth says, I buy her PTSD in H2 over the way Laurie deals with trauma in 2018, honestly. I completely agree. Beth. When you're comparing, to me, Laurie feels like a different character in 2 than the first one. Talking about Rob Zombie's movies. But I think it's a natural progression because of the trauma that she went through in the first movie. But looking at the second movie as, I call it like a trauma slasher, and usually that is a sequel, I don't think there's too many trauma slashers where they're the first movie. There has to have been some sort of, hell, you can, Prom Night Remake, here we go. Prom Night Remake is kind of a trauma slasher because the opening of that movie is, they could have made a separate movie, like a prequel of her being stalked by this dude, by, what was his name? Richard, I think? Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of a trauma slasher. So, yeah. Rob McLean says, Rob Zombie is not a master of film or music. Well, I love his music. And I do like I don't shit on Rob Zombie with every movie. I take each movie individually and I like some of them, and some like I love Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I really like Lords of Salem, even though it can be a tough watch. I admire it for for him stepping out of his own comfort zone and getting a little artsy. I like that. I liked his pretty much all three of the Firefly family movies. So I'm about half and half with Rob Zombie. Like, what about you guys? Are you like, give me your if you had to rate Rob Zombie, like taking his entire catalog, what would you rate him? Would you rate him like a 4 out of 5 or maybe a 3 out of 5, or you can do out of 10? I would rate him maybe a 3.5 out of 5 overall as as far as averaging out his movies, right? Hey, there's Destiny. What's up, Destiny? Yeah, there you go, Chris. 3.5 out of 5. That's what I would rate him for sure. I think we just did the scene where he was beating the ceiling with the 2x4. Guy, yeah, this is like she looks like she's been through hell in this scene, right? And guys, here's a little trivia for you. That is not Tyler Mane. Okay, wearing the Myers outfit in this scene, and then also when obviously there's a stunt woman going out, and that stunt woman, it was a woman that was dressed up like Scout Taylor Compton, like Lori, and I guess she got hurt really, really bad when because they had like this square of boxes that she was going to land on, and she ended up landing on like the outside of the box. And like half her body was on the box and the other half wasn't. And so she got messed up pretty bad, right? So, yeah. Destiny, you arrived just for the very end of the movie, okay? Lori is, she just fell out of the house with Myers, and now she's about to get on top of him, and she's going to shoot him in the face. I like how he kind of built this tension here with, when is it going to go off? Because, he lets her shoot like a couple times and then it finally goes off to add a little bit of extra tension to it, Yeah, it was a last minute thing, Destiny. I've been really last minute with everything lately. Oh, there we go. We caught it. Well, make sure you go back and do the rewatch, Destiny. We talked a lot about this movie. Likes, dislikes, everything. We broke it all down. Right, guys? Did we have fun? And we talked about Razor Straight. Okay? Razor Straight. I do like in the credits how he throws these little, like, video footage things here. Like family home videos. That's kind of cool, right? Guys, this was fun. Last Minute Lee. Well, Last Minute Lee gets more views. I noticed that. Oh, Jesus. I didn't even look to see how many of you guys were watching this one, but watching the chat roll like it. And usually when I do my like planned streams, like let me ask you guys this, okay? And be honest with me, okay? Which do you prefer? Do you prefer when I do kind of a more prepared, we got topics, with the funnies and all that stuff? Or do you kind of like just a laid back hangout, maybe Q&A type thing? I need your honest opinion. Do you like it razor straight or do you like it razor thin? Oh, 98. Wow, Destiny, that's nice. 98 degrees. There you go. Both types of streams, it's all good. I can only catch so much being in Australia. I vote more of this. I like more relaxed streams, but with a notice. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You can't have one or the other, Destiny, okay? You got to be ready, You got to be on the money. Impromptu Lee. Okay, Sean G. Razor thin. So yeah, maybe I'll just keep doing it like this then, okay? It's fun. Hey, here's what I'll do. I'll sneak up. I'll trick you guys. How about that? All sizes of the blade. I'll trick you guys. Here's what I'll do. I'll prepare a show, but I won't advertise it, and I'll just like, boom, and I'll just call it like a Q&A, razor thin or something like that, and then we'll dive in, right? So that way, I don't know, thin sliced. Podcast with patrons should be fun too. Have a discussion or something. Hey, Sir Drop Bear, I am so freaking glad you mentioned that. Okay, because I have been trying different things with my patrons, and Chris, I don't know if Chris was even there or not, but the last one I did, and I gave like a few days notice. I don't know if it was a timing thing or whatever, but only had like 6 people there, you know, and I think I got like 120 patrons or something like that. And guys, I'm not complaining. I don't expect anything from my patrons, you know. It's my job to entertain them, okay? They pay me. So you don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to do anything, all right? Your job is just to be yourself and be entertained by me. You don't have to show up for anything. But I do like trying to get feedback to figure out, hey, what would you guys like to do together? And it seems like when we do the commentaries, I get a little bit more turnout, you know? But when I do like just topics, I guess, and stuff like that with them, then I don't get much of a turnout. So I'm still trying to figure that out. I guess I'm trying to figure out what's the best route, because I would like to have a nice patron hangout and just, you know, just shoot the shit, right? But yeah, Chris, don't think I'm saying you have to show. No, not at all. Okay. I appreciate you guys to death. I really do. And I guess my thing, I want to give to you, right? So if maybe I should just like post, hey guys, suggestions. Give me suggestions, anything. Or if maybe you might be the type of person who's like, you know what? I just want to support you. I don't really need to like show up for anything. Some people are like that, and I get that. That's fine too. Okay. Beth says she's missed a bunch of streams lately, and trust me, I miss hanging out with you all. Yeah, we miss you too, Beth. But we have fun, right, guys? We have a lot of fun. So I think that's why I like to just go public and open it up to everybody, including the patrons, and we all just like shoot the shit and hang out with each other. It's really fun. It's really fun. But yeah, guys, this was so freaking fun. I might keep doing razor thinly for a while, okay? If you guys like razor thinly, then that's what I'll do, okay? Last minute Lee, then that's what I'll do, okay? Yeah. Love you guys to death though. Okay. And I always appreciate your feedback. All right. So don't be afraid to like even message me if you want. Say, hey, I like that we did this. Let's do more of that, you know, stuff like that. Okay. But yeah, anyway, guys, love you guys to death. Had so much fun watching this movie with you guys. And, please do True Romance next. Bastiel. True Romance is one of my favorite movies. Freaking love that. Last Minute Live. There you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. I am going to head out. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night with each other, okay? Keep being good to each other like you always do. Love you guys to death.